What's down, people, and welcome back to another episode of Ghetto Gospel. So where we left off at. Last week, we talked about Sodom and Gomorrah, why it got destroyed, and the aftermath. I don't really want to talk about that no more. Y'all could catch up on it right here. Moving on. So this week, we in chapter 20, and Abraham up to his old tricks again. So the first thing it say is that he moved to a different part of the South. And if you paying attention, you probably like, from where? Which is a fair question. The last time we saw Abraham, he was standing out on his land and looking at the smoking hole in the ground that used to be Sodom and Gomorrah. I imagine this might have made him reconsider where he was staying at. So he touched down in this new spot. We gonna call it G City. And just like he did a few chapters ago, he started telling folks, oh, that's just my sister, when it was really his wife. Like he done forgot about all the good stuff that God done did for him so far. And he worried somebody gonna kill him for his 90-some-year-old wife. And I'm gonna take a pause right there. How many times you done been jammed up and sent one up last minute and God actually came through for you? How long it took you to forget about that answered prayer and go right back to doing whatever you was doing before you got jammed up? What? I ain't judging. I think it's a lot of folks that think of God like he either checked out doing God stuff, or like homegirl you know with buku kids. Like she ain't got the time, energy, or patience to be paying attention to every one of them kids. God ain't like that though. Like I said in episode 5, he see all the time from the beginning to the end to everything in between. So it ain't no such thing as not enough time for him. Not only that, but I bet he feels some kind of way about you getting spooked over your circumstances and forgetting how he done came through for you. So back to Abraham. The crazy part is, when the king, we gonna call him King Beamer, heard Sarah was his sister, he was like, yeah, let me see what that's about, and had her scooped up and brought to his crib, which tell me Sarah must have been bad, and she still had dudes checking for her at 90. But God wasn't playing. He showed up in his dream like, boy, you about to die. That's a married woman you done took. So then King Beamer was like, Lord, what you talking about? You gonna destroy the nation even though we innocent? Now the crazy part I just thought about, at this point, the only person we know for sure that God was talking to was Abraham and this dude named Job that we gonna meet later on in the book. That don't mean God wasn't communicating with nobody else. He almost certainly was, but not like he was chopping it up with Abraham. For everybody else, all they knew about God at this point was the fact that he made the earth, he flooded the earth, and he wiped out Sodom and Gomorrah. So when he showed up in folks' dreams talking about you a dead man, I imagine they took it pretty serious. So then King Beamer was like, he told me she was his sister, and she said he was her brother. I did what I did with a clear conscience and clean hands. And God was like, I know you did it with a clear conscience. That's why I ain't let you touch her, so you wouldn't sin against me. Get that man his wife back. He a prophet. He gonna pray for you, and you gonna live. But if you don't give her back, you gonna die. You and all your people.
Your mama and your cousin too.
So King Beamer got up the next morning and told all his people what happened, and they was all shook. Now you might be thinking what I be thinking. What made this man take what happened in his dream serious? Hold that thought. So then the king called Abraham and told him, fam, what is wrong with you? Why would you do this to me? What I ever did to you for you to make me and my kingdom guilty? You down bad for that, child? And Abraham was like, bruh, I figured wasn't nobody in this kingdom checking for God, and y'all was gonna kill me because of my wife. Besides, she technically my half-sister. So when we moved away from our hometown, I told her to show me that you love me by telling folks I'm your brother wherever we go. So then, King Beamer laced that boy Abraham with buku flocks and herds, and yes, more slaves. Oh yeah, and he gave his wife back. And then he told Abraham he could post up wherever he wanted to live in the kingdom. And he told Sarah, look here, la mama, I'm gonna throw your old man 1,000 pieces of silver. That's about $1,700 in today's money. Just for the inconvenience, and that's proof that ain't nothing happened between us. Then Abraham prayed to God, and God healed King Beamer, his wife, and his female slaves so they could have kids again. Because as soon as the king took Sarah, God stopped everybody from having kids. Well, I guess that's how King Beamer knew that dream wasn't just a dream. It don't say what the king needed to be healed from. The last time this happened back in chapter 12, it said it was plagues, which honestly, I probably don't even want to know. Whatever it was, it got the king and all of his people's attention good enough that they knew God wasn't playing with them. I feel like that's starting to become a theme here. The other thing is this. If you thinking like I was thinking the first time I read this, you probably thinking about Abraham like he's scared. How you gonna tell your wife to lie like she ain't your wife so folks don't kill you? Well, the first thing to remember is this: Abraham wasn't no punk. Don't forget that man beat 4 kings with just him, his clique, and his army of 300. And the truth is, anybody who really understands what war is all about, understand that it ain't about running around, beating on and bullying whoever you think you can get away with doing it to. That's an easy way to get yourself killed. Another thing is this: even back in them days, not all kings was created equal. You might have had a king that was just like a chief of a tribe, but then you had kings who had real power. Around this time in history, normally people would think about places in Africa like Egypt and Kush as examples of real kingdoms. And real kingdoms had real armies that Abraham and his clique, no matter how well trained they wasn't just gonna push around. I watched this video a little while back about what's going on in Haiti. I'll put the link here if you want to check it out. And around 4 minutes in, they talked to this dude who had to choose between getting killed for defending his wife or letting the gang do what they wanted to do to her. And no lie, hearing that man talk about it broke my heart. Everybody think they hard until bullets flying or you outnumbered by some real thugs. I don't know why Abraham was in that kingdom, but we can't assume he was a coward or just making piss poor decisions. You don't get to be rich and have your own private security like that. And you don't never see God giving him the 3rd degree or telling him he was wrong, but telling Sarah to tell that little half-truth so folks wouldn't think she was his wife. And every time this situation happened, Abraham come out richer on the other side. Would I ever tell my wife not to claim me? Hell no. I got guns, and I got guns. I'd die before I let somebody put their hands on her. And she know that. See, I told you everybody think they hard, present company included. So that's it for this week. I'll see y'all next week. And as always, peace, and I hope y'all people straight.